what you're putting in.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Courtney and this is Creative on the Cheap. Today I have got some super easy farmhouse Dollar Tree DIYs, so let's get into them. For this first DIY, we're going to be making a boho / farmhouse inspired little planter, and I'm going to be using this little box that came from Dollar Tree. They have several different versions. It doesn't really matter which one you get, but this is the one I chose. I took out the inside little drawer, and then I also have some of the wooden skewers, also from Dollar Tree. So the first thing you're going to want to do is just measure the skewer on the side of the box, and then we're going to go ahead and start cutting these skewers. I got about 3 pieces cut to 1 skewer because these are the extra long skewers. So I'm just going to go through and start cutting these, and you're going to want enough of these little skewers to cover all 4 sides of the box.
Who will pick you up when you've lost everything? Does it all become for granted with a wedding ring? Oh, there must be more. There must be.
Now that all these skewers have been cut, I'm simply just going to take some hot glue and starting on the bottom of each side of the box, I'm going to apply a little bit of hot glue and then just start sticking my skewers down, and I'm just going to work my way up. Now, I'm not really trying to get these all perfectly lined up. I'm trying to make it kind of, you know, boho, farmhousey, rusticy, whatever you want to call it. Now, you certainly could go back and paint these if you wanted to. I chose to leave these all the natural color, and like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and apply all these to each of the 4 sides.
Another way, there must be conscience. Different things in different ways. There must be love. There must be a reason, and a little bit of faith has got to come my way. I was just a little girl.
Now that all 4 sides have the wooden skewers attached, I'm ready to go ahead and add some wooden beads to the bottom of my box. These are 10mm beads, I believe, and I'm just using some wood hot glue to glue these on to the bottom of the box.
When my mama used to say, ooh, happiness requires work every day.
The last step to finish off the planter is I took this piece of white rope that I had in my stash. I wrapped it around the middle of the box so I could determine where I wanted to tie a knot. Once I did that, I just slipped it off. I tied a knot where my thumb is right now, and then I just simply frayed the rest of the string so that it hung down and looked like a tassel.
Oh, and if that someone makes you smile and leaves you with a scar, don't let them tell you what you feel or who you are. Oh.
Now it's time to go ahead and fill the planter. So I'm just going to take a piece of pool noodle and I'm going to stick this in here to use as my foam, so to speak. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting little pieces of greenery. Now, because this pool noodle is a little stiff, I had to kind of pre-poke some holes. So I'm just using the end of one of the skewers and I'm just going in and by hand placing these little pieces of greenery. Now, I know I've shared this hack many times, but for those of you who are new, for greenery, I always wait for the garlands to go half price at Hobby Lobby, and then for $9.99, you get a massive amount of greenery that lasts forever. So I'm just going to go through and continue to fill this planter up, and then once it's all filled up, this project is finished.
There must be more. There must be another way. There must be conscience. Different things in different ways. There must be love. There must be a reason, and a little bit of faith has got to come my way.
For the second DIY, I'm going to be using this little wooden tray from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go ahead and go in and give it a nice coat of the Waverly White chalk paint, and then let that dry really, really good. my tray is almost dry, I'm going to go ahead and show you some options for adding a design to the tray if you don't have a Cricut. Dollar Tree has all of these stickers that you can purchase and use those with some Mod Podge on top. This booklet came from Hobby Lobby. I use a lot of these stickers. Then you can also look for stickers like these. These also came from Dollar Tree that I've painted. As you can see, there's some red and I painted them. You can also use some of their new rub-ons if you want to use the transfers, as well as wooden letters. And then of course you can always print out an image, scratch the pencil on the back, transfer it over. So there's lots of ways to get a design onto something even if you don't have a cutting machine. For convenience sake, I went ahead and decided to print my own little decal with my Cricut. So I just searched through the Cricut Access and I found this cute little design. So now I'm just going to go ahead and apply it to the bottom of the tray. And then I'm almost ready to go ahead and attach the base. And then this little project is all finished. The vinyl stickers all applied. Now I'm going to be using this really cute little wooden candle that was sent to me from Hobnobbin. I will make sure to link her shop down below, but if you're looking for cute little wooden pieces, she's got a lot of great things in her shop: wooden beads, candlesticks, mini rolling pins, lots and lots of cool stuff. So thank you so much for sending this to me. I absolutely love it. So all I'm doing is I'm just going to use some wood hot glue here, and I'm just going to attach this to the bottom of my tray, and then my little remote holder for my guest room is all finished. This last DIY I am super excited about. It's one that I leaked briefly on Instagram. If you follow me over there, I kind of gave a very quick sneak peek. So you're going to need to start with one of these little trash cans from Dollar Tree. You're also going to need a pair of tin snips. Thank you, Kristen K, for the tip about those, because it makes cutting this so much easier. And what we're ultimately going to want to do is basically take this trash can and make it a half of a trash can. So we're going to need to snip the top metal ring, the black thicker metal ring, as well as the bottom, so that we can go ahead and kind of fold it up and make it flat. Please excuse these rusty tin snips. These are Mr. Cheap's, and I went ahead and ordered myself some new ones. If you don't have a pair of tin snips, I will link down the ones that I ordered down below, but these were game changer in cutting this, and now I'm just really happy that I have a pair in my craft room. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with the snipping of this, and then we'll get ready to move on. Once the bottom metal ring has been snipped, you're going to take your tin snips and you're just going to go to the base of the trash can, as I'm doing here, and you're just going to snip from one cut point to the other cut point. Once you have finished that cut, now the base is kind of loose, and all you want to do with the base of the trash can is just fold it up inside of the trash can, just like this. Now that the bottom's finished, we're going to go ahead and go to the top metal ring and snip that in the same general spots where we snip the bottom. And then once we have made two snips on the top of the metal ring, you're going to do the same thing as you did on the bottom, where you take your snips and you're simply going to go ahead and cut the trash can at the, I guess it's at the top now. I'm just going to let you kind of watch here. You're going to cut the trash like this. You're just going to cut it right here, go all the way around, and what will happen is this little top metal piece will fall off, and that's perfect. It's time to go ahead and get this to get its final shape. So what you're going to need are some zip ties. These are just little black zip ties from Dollar Tree, and you're just going to start attaching the back of this trash can the sides together with zip ties, secure it to the bottom. One thing you need to know is when you are feeding the zip ties through, the little receptacle, I don't even know what you call it, the knob or whatever that is that you slide the piece through, just make sure that's on the inside of the trash can, because if it's on the outside, when you go to attach this to the wood sign, those little knobbies, if that makes sense, will kind of make your planter basket sit off the sign. So when you attach your zip ties, just make sure you're tightening them on the inside of the trash can. Then all I did here really is I made cuts where I needed to, and I just zip tied these two pieces, the back together, to get it as flat as I could so that it will sit nicely on my sign.
We got our windows down, driving down the 405, sing along to the radio. We're gonna make it someday, nothing's gonna get in our way. We will be the biggest band in town. Round and round the world we'll go, putting on the greatest show. So make sure that
before I attach my planter basket, I want to go ahead and get the top of the sign stenciled and painted here. So I made this design in Cricut Design Space. I will link it down below if you have a Cricut. If you don't have a Cricut, have no fear. You can still use any of the ways that I recommended earlier. You can use stickers, wooden letters. You can print an image, scratch the back of it with a pencil, trace it onto your sign, and then freehand paint it. You can use letter stencils if you have those. So lots of options. Once I get my stencil down, right here, I'm going to show you, when I was making it, for lilies, I had two L's, so I had to do a little MacGyvering here, and I ended up figuring out a way to fix it without having to redo the entire thing. But the stencil that is linked down below is updated, and it's correct, so have no fear there. Anyway, so to prevent the bleeding, I'm going to go over my stencil very lightly with some of the Waverly White chalk paint, because that's the color that my sign is painted. Once that's done, then I'll go back over it with some black paint, and then my stencil will be down on the sign.
you don't miss out, just be there. We're taking our shot, bring what you got. We're going all the way to the top. We will hear the sound of 1 million people screaming our names when we're backstage. We'll play loud, surfing the crowd. Everybody's jumping around. Yeah, that's the place where I wanna be. Going on stage, headline on a Saturday night. Oh, 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 Saturday night. Oh, oh, oh. I'm gonna quit my job. Never wanna have no bars. I just wanna play my rock and roll like they do on the radio. Tommy's got brand new drums, and I still have my old guitar. And John said this next song's gonna be real good, if you know what I mean. Round and round the world we'll go.
It's time to go ahead and finish my basket so that I can get this thing attached to my sign. So I had this piece of burlap fabric in my little scrap basket of fabric. And all I'm going to do for this is I am going to just kind of shove it into the basket. But at the top of this, I'm going to take a little bit of hot glue and I'm just going to fold over a little bit, about an inch of the fabric over the top, and hot glue it on there. And that's it. That's the only place that I'm going to secure this fabric to the basket. And then the rest of it I'm just going to kind of shove down in there, and then it has the look that I want.
Just be there. We're taking our shot, bring what you got. We're going all the way to the top. We will hear the sound of 1 million people screaming our names when we're backstage. We'll play loud, surfing the crowd. Everybody's jumping around. Yeah, that's the place where I wanna be. Going on stage.
To get this basket attached, there's probably a million different ways you can do it. This is just the way I chose. I took 4 of the tower blocks from Dollar Tree, and all I'm going to do is put some hot glue on them, and then I am just going to press them down on the basket like this down onto the board, and then I'll squeeze a little bit more hot glue kind of in there, and it works great. You could use Velcro, you could directly hot glue this all over if you wanted to, but I wanted the ability, if I wanted to break this down, to be able to do that fairly easily. So I'm just going to use a total of 4 of these little tower blocks, and it was just the right amount to get this secured to my sign. The last step to this is I'm just taking one of these little chalkboard signs from Dollar Tree, and I'm just doing a little price tag, and then I'm just going to secure this to the inside of the basket with a little bit of painter's tape, and that's it. This project is all finished. There you have it, 3 Farmhouse Dollar Tree DIYs. Let me know down below which one of these is your favorite, and your random question today is, do you have a Cricut, a silhouette, or neither? I would love to know so that I can kind of gauge my DIYs. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you will stick around by hitting the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!